we will move on to our next speaker, who has had a profound impact on the Indian financial sector, which has spanned over 3 remarkable decades. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute honor to introduce Shri R. Gandhi, former Deputy Governor of the Reserve Bank of India. He is also an advisory council of Sahamati, where he has been an unwavering pillar of support since its inception. But due to unforeseen circumstances, he could not be with us in person today, but has recorded a message for us. And he will share his insights on the evolution and progress of participatory governance in the AA ecosystem through a recorded video. Let's welcome Shri R. Gandhi on screen.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to SamvAAd 2024, where all the stakeholders in the Account Aggregator system meet periodically and we deliberate on matters of interest and arrive at consensus to go forward. The Indian Account Aggregator system is a very unique one. Elsewhere in the world, it is known as open banking arrangement. More specifically in the EU and UK, where the so-called open banking arrangement has enabled the fintech companies to access information from the banks based on the customer's approval or consent. Thus, it is a very restricted arrangement, whereas in other countries like whether it is in USA or Japan, Singapore, Hong Kong, Australia, almost a variant of this open banking arrangement is being practiced. Whereas in India, we had decided to have the account aggregator system as a very unique one, in the sense that it is a separate, exclusive entity. Account aggregator in India is a separate and distinct entity. It is an independent entity. It is independent of the information providers and the information users. And it is mandated to be on the side of the consumers whose data the information providers and information users share at the command of the customers. So the account aggregator stands by the customers and it is equidistant from the information user and information provider. And it is also mandated to ensure this independence. It is also mandated by the regulator that account aggregator cannot be undertaking any other work, any other function, responsibilities other than the account aggregator system. So that way, its independence is fully assured. Then the way the account aggregator system in India works, as I said, that already we have these 3 entities: account aggregator proper, the information provider, the information user. There are also other stakeholders in the system functioning, like the third-party service providers, the technical service providers, and others. To begin with, India has started this account aggregator system in the financial system. It is not just covering only banks. Banks, the securities market entities like the depositories, then mutual funds, the insurance companies, the pension funds, like that the entire financial system participants are covered under the Indian account aggregated system. Not only that, it has further gone beyond the financial system to include economic information as well. GSTN, that is a very important element where business-related information is available, that has also been included in the account aggregated system. And we have visions to expand the account aggregation in India to go much beyond also. Possibly the direct tax information system also will join one day, utility-related information, health-related information. Like that, there is endless possibilities in which the account aggregator system can function we do envisage such a large, vast system. That is why I mentioned initially that the Indian account aggregator system is a very unique one. Now, to discuss about the governance in this system, since this system we have varied set of interests playing in, financial information providers, financial information users, the account aggregators, third-party service providers, government entities like GSTN, and private entities, banks, mutual funds, securities firms, portfolio management service providers, investment or investment advisors. Like that, we have any number of entities who have a stake in the whole system. So to subserve all this group of entities, various stakeholders, we need to find an appropriate governing system. Typically, in every industry, there is always an association of the parties who participate in that particular industry. Even though all of them are competitors to one another, but they find it necessary to cooperate and coordinate their activities for various reasons. To have a common voice, to have a common platform where they can discuss their common subjects of interest. They can share experiences, they can arrive at consensus on best practices to be followed, standards to be followed. Like that, any number of reasons why people aggregate, come together and form an association. When they form an association, the governance of the association also, there are various models. One model is cooperative principle, where one member, one vote kind of governance system, where each member will have equal rights in determining the affairs of the association. There is also a corporate method of governance, where it depends upon how much economic interest you have taken in that particular entity, especially when the members would want certain common services to be provided by this arrangement. And when those to provide these common services, you need large capital to be aggregated. That would mean that different participants may contribute differently, and based on that contributory position, their rights or their governance rights and privileges could be different. That's a typical corporate way of governing the institution. Then we also have, over the period, especially in the regulated segments like the financial sector, where the actual governance position or type or the model that has developed over the period is called the participative governance. Participative governance means what by that? What do we mean by that? That is, each member, irrespective of their economic interest in the organization, will have a say in formulating the policies, in expressing their views, and the rest of the system, everybody hears that and they build consensus around it. There will be gives and takes by any and everybody. Big players will be called upon to contribute more in terms of the economic resources or their time or their expertise voluntarily. It's just typically we have seen especially in financial sector and others, that big players come out wholeheartedly in supporting this kind of common arrangement by shedding off their rights to certain privileges or whatever, and small operators or small entities do recognize these kind of human service from the big industry, big entities, and they build a common pathway. That is it is a network-based arrangement, network-based governance, where the hallmark of this network arrangement is collaboration, cooperation, trust, and mutual interdependence. So that is the way I am sure that in the account aggregator system in India also, since varied interests are going to play, each interest group will have their own particular expectations and compulsions and limitations, and it will be good for each one of them to support one another, because everyone clearly will understand that if we have to move forward, everyone has to step forward. It is not that only one set of people, one set of group of entities can carry the whole thing away. That is not possible. So that is why participative governance in the Indian account aggregator system will be a good one. to forge that, to organize that. Sahamati has voluntarily come forward, and it has certain plans which it is placing before all of you. In due course, they will be meeting with many of these institutions who are in the forefront of this account aggregator system and others, and together we hope that we will build a very appropriate participatory governance system. Thank you, Unanna.